Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking about doing AP classes versus running start or dual enrollment classes. So what I did my sophomore year was debate and ask a ton of questions whether or not I should take AP classes or if I should do running start, which is Washington State's dual enrollment program. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's where you can take college courses, typically community college courses, while you're still in high school, and you don't need to pay any of the tuition. So you still need to pay for books, for parking fees, for all those things, but your tuition is paid for. And those college credits that you take count towards high school credits. And so I actually ended up graduating high school with more than enough credits to graduate, just because one quarter over at the college was equivalent to 1 year at the high school. So basically, by the end of my senior year, I already completed technically 3 years um, of chemistry, of general chemistry, and then within my senior year, I already completed the equivalent of 2 years of Spanish. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick, but anyways, I did not take AP classes mainly because one of my band teacher's assistants, he messaged me on Facebook after I put out on Facebook, "Hey guys, should I take AP or running start?" And there were a lot of people who gave really good comments, but my band teacher's assistant, who was like um, one of everybody knew him in high school, and so he messaged me and he said that he would have commented it, but it would have been too long to be appropriate for a comment, just because it would be like paragraphs and paragraphs long. And he basically said that he was still able to commit his time to band and to chess club and to dating his girlfriend, who is now his wife, um, while still in running start. And so that was my main concern as a high school student, was would I still be able to commit my time to band, because I was a drum major and I was in it until I graduated, and I wanted to still be a good leader and be there for my fellow band members, but I'm a student too, so I wanted to excel and succeed. And so what I learned, I mean, what I saw from my high school was that they really tried to scare me out of doing running start. And that was pretty much the same with a whole bunch of other high schools. Um, just because running start's a really good program, but it's very expensive for the school themselves. And so they're just trying to do their job and, like, save money. However, it's an excellent program. Um, Basically, I thought what would happen was that I would be in over my head with college coursework, because I was 16 years old, I was in high school, and I was like, oh my gosh, college, I don't think I'm ready for that. Um, I had a really rough time my last real semester in high school. I took a math class that was a year ahead and advanced. I took a science class that was a year ahead. I also took advanced English, and then I was in zero period PE, which was probably my favorite class. And so, yeah, anyways, I thought that I'd be in over my head doing work, like not sleeping at all, just doing college work all the time. But then I realized once I was actually in running start, I was sleeping way more than all of my other friends who were still in high school. Um, the college course setup was that I had class from Monday through Thursday, so every week, every week I had a 3-day weekend, and so I was able to catch up on my old work, sleep more on Fridays. I could relax a little bit more, and then not every class is every day. Some of them are just 2 hours long every other day. I had lab for 3 hours on one day, and then that was just it. And so that I had a pretty easy schedule. In addition, my English class, my English teacher was a good teacher, um, but it was rather elementary compared to my high school classes. My English teacher in high school really worked us hard, um, and like that, my middle school advanced English teachers really worked us hard in order to build us up to that point. Um, and I was honestly the if I had only put in the effort, I would have gotten a higher grade. I would have gotten an A in that class, but quite honestly, I was lazy. But don't be like that. But honestly, the essays that I was peer editing, those were, how do I put it softly? Um, they were rather elementary. They didn't go into depth as much as the coursework that I did in high school. But then again, I took advanced courses in high school. It wasn't AP. It was my freshman and sophomore year in high school, and I only took advanced courses because there was no AP available for freshmen and sophomores. Um, so if you're on the fence about whether or not to do AP or dual enrollment running start, I would say do running start because look, I graduated high school and I'm in my last year of doing of finishing up my associate's degree. Ideally, you would just finish up your associate's degree within your junior and senior year of high school. So you graduate high school while graduating with your associate's degree. However, I want to do my degree in chemistry and then go on to become a chemical engineer. Um, and so I wasn't able to take all the required courses for that degree while I was still in high school doing the dual enrollment. I needed to take various humanity courses, I needed to take political science and history, and so that kind of detracted from the time that I had to do just like all my STEM coursework. But because I had that opportunity to finish up my STEM course or my humanities and social sciences coursework while I was still in high school, now I can just completely focus on STEM. I don't need to worry about doing a language. I don't need to worry about doing English. I don't need to worry about like filling up my other credits because I already finished that in high school, and now I can just focus on STEM, which I like a lot. And so I know like if you're an athlete, which I used to play tennis while I was in high school. Um, I really wanted to be on the tennis team, just because I mean, I loved playing tennis. I was playing it since I was 4 years old, and I wanted to compete. However, lab time with in general chemistry too, I took Chem 162. Um, that would not have allowed me to actually go and go to the practices on time or be able to go to the meets. Similarly, I was going to do cross country in the fall of my junior year, but because of my lab, I wasn't able to make practice. I couldn't have made practices, um, and I would have just been completely stressed out. So that's what I have to say. With sports, quite honestly, I thought it was going to be important to me, but when I saw that I was on an accelerated path, it's called running start for a reason. I was on an accelerated path where I could get way ahead of my classmates. Um, I finished up my general chemistry series, and now I'm doing the organic chemistry series. You can finish up way faster than the rest of your classmates, and when you're ahead, you can get a lot more done than anyone else. That's just all I have to say. I'm not saying that AP is bad. AP does have a lot of good things. I wouldn't be one to be a good judge of that just because I never took any AP classes. But I've heard a lot of people say that they did well in AP. However, from my experience, if you want to get your degree, if you want to get experience, if you want to get stuff done, do running start, do your dual enrollment. Um, Quite honestly, the counselors are going to try to scare you out of it. That's just from my experience. But um, if you talk around to people, go ask zillions of questions. Ask me questions. Ask so many other people questions because they're going to be like students because they're the ones who are going to tell you the ins and outs of everything. I didn't know that the college schedule was Monday through Thursday and then Fridays were basically off. Um, I didn't know that. I didn't know that not every class was like in a rigid schedule like high school. In my high school, I know it's different with some high schools, but in my high school, you had the same 6 classes every day at the same time for 5 days a week, and so it got monotonous. It got boring. Some other schools they do like 4 classes. If you have 8 classes total, you do 4 classes Monday, for the other 4 on Tuesday, and then you alternate or something like that. Um, but for me, running start was it. How do I say it gave me a little bit more breathing room. Even though the coursework was technically way harder, it gave me time to relax. It gave me time to sleep, which I needed. You need sleep, believe it or not. Sleep is not unnecessary. I believed it was unnecessary when I was in high school. However, You absolutely need it. I mean, when I was a sophomore taking all those classes, I prioritized my sleep because I knew that PE was the only way I was going to get my GPA up. And and I knew that I had to rest my body in order to lift weights. I didn't want to come into class 7 a.m. in the morning, just like barely awake, and then I'm trying to lift. I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to squat 150 pounds. Okay, that's not a safe. That's not a safe environment to be in. You need to sleep and you need to exercise. You're gonna get blood flowing. Doesn't matter. Walk for 20 minutes. Do something to exercise. You can't go without sleep. You can't go without exercise. You can go without donuts. You can go without coffee. I personally do not drink coffee to keep myself awake. I barely even have a cup. In order to keep myself awake, I push myself. I put myself in situations. If I have time to relax, I put myself in situations where I force myself to stay awake so that I can prepare myself to be awake for when I have like heavy assignments. All right. So another reason people do Running Start is because they really hated high school and they just wanted to leave the immaturity of high school. Quite honestly, I had a bunch of friends in high school and I loved all of them and I didn't really want to leave that environment. However, being in the college setting, it was more mature. Like in my chemistry 161 class, which is general chemistry 1, who are taking quarters, um, it was so much more mature than like my high school chemistry class. For one, I mean high school and college, but there was a bunch of other Running Start students in that class. However, you could not have been in that class, like you cannot have stumbled into that class. It's not an entry level course like English 101 or like Math 98 or something like that. You had to have gone through a lot more chemistry before that in order to get into that class. And so you don't have anyone in there who's like, oh, I'm just taking this just because I want to, just for fun. Everyone is in there because they have a specific goal. They either want to be a doctor or an engineer. If you're in that class because you like to have fun in chemistry, you're crazy. But I like chemistry too. But honestly, when you're in that college setting and you're taking classes, like I wanted to be a doctor, I also want to be an engineer. I want to be a chemical engineer. But everyone in my class had the same mindset. We all wanted to be either doctors or engineers. And that was really conducive for my studying because because we were all there to build each other up. Our grades weren't curved, so there was no need for us to compete against each other. So we were always helping each other out. And so that's all I have to say right now. I can't think of anything else, but if you have any questions, ask me and I will answer them. So alright guys, have a good day. I hope this video helps you out with your decision to do either AP or Running Start. Sorry I wasn't able to give any advice on AP, but I'm pretty sure there are other videos out there, and if I can direct you to any contact, I will let you know, so just ask me. Alright guys, have a good day. Bye!